Types of drama. The two types of drama, comedy and tragedy, have a long tradition in the theater. You have probably seen those masks where one mask is smiling and one is frowning. Those are icons representing these two types of drama. In comedies, the protagonists are not noble. They may be good and sensible people, however. The plot of a comedy is also often as silly as the characters and does not have to be believable. Unrealistic plots, lack of cause and effect, improbable disguises, mistaken identities, and numerous coincidences are all accepted by the audience as long as the play is funny. Audiences also like to have a happy ending, even if it seems contrived. Oscar Wilde's play The Importance of Being Earnest incorporates many of these comic elements. It was also made into a movie starring Colin Firth, and though Hollywood did alter it a little, the basic story is pretty close. The main character, John Worthing, is a well-to-do Victorian bachelor. He uses the alias of Ernest when he travels to the city, and eventually he falls in love with Gwendolen. She claims she will only marry a man whose name is Ernest, so he is forced to keep up this alter ego, and eventually this leads to a lot of craziness and confusion. Tragedy is completely opposite of comedy. While a tragedy does have a tragic ending, this fact is not enough to define a dramatic tragedy. Aristotle was the first real theater critic of sorts, and he defined a lot of the dramatic elements used in plays considered tragedies. The protagonist or hero is a noble character, as are his actions. Oedipus from the play Oedipus Rex is a perfect example of a noble character. He is a king, and he searches for the truth no matter the consequences to himself. While he seems to be perfect, as with all tragic heroes, he must have one fatal flaw, like Superman and his kryptonite. Many times it is a character flaw of some kind, but it may also be some misguided action that the character is responsible for. Either way, he is still ultimately responsible for his actions. His character flaws may be that he is too ambitious, easily angered, or full of pride. Though the hero in a tragedy may be responsible for his own downfall, and this is the result of his free choice, the audience still feels sympathetic to his problem. This is especially true because the punishment he endures exceeds the crime. However, even though the ending is tragic, some good comes out of this tragedy. The protagonist may gain knowledge or awareness of some kind that is important. With Oedipus, he finds out his true identity. While this may seem new to some of you, many stories and movies today are loosely based on Greek tragedies. For example, in the Back to the Future movie series, Michael J. Fox's character has one fatal flaw. He hates to be called chicken. Every time he is called this by another character, he gets into trouble. In the movie The Matrix, Neo is the hero, but he is ignorant of his true identity. He is the One. In fact, you may remember a scene where the Oracle points to a sign above the door and that translates into "Know thyself." Neither of these movies ends tragically, but a tragic ending does not define a tragedy. Therefore, they are examples of how the Greek tradition is still used today.